Welcome back to the Weekend Warrior Show Recap Podcast. I'm Tyler from the Unemployed Architects. This week I'm going to be talking about my shows this last weekend at Dr.McKay's here in Bloomington. And then Saturday night I played at a place that used to be called Sammer's 2, but has reopened at a different location called Jay's Place. So Friday night I went early, Friday afternoon I went early and set up as usual, as per Dr. McKay's. I pretty much always go there pretty early. I went a little extra earlier because I had to make a quick trip to Pontiac after, so I was probably set up by 2 o'clock essentially. I had to pick up Lo from work, and then I dropped her off at home, ran to Pontiac, and then got back with plenty of time to get to the show. Everything was pretty well set up. I had already restrung the guitars for the night before, so didn't have to worry about doing that kind of right before the show. And it started pretty strong. It was a good crowd, and I was doing a lot of classic rock and oldies type stuff. I felt like I was getting a pretty good response for that first set, and it was, first set's always more of a warm up if you're doing a 4 hour. So, and it was 7 to 11 was the set time. It was just Lo and I, and yeah, like I said, I just thought we were getting a good reaction from the crowd. We kept building it and getting good feedback. And then at started at 7, about 8:15, 8:30, it just completely cleared out. So the dinner crowd pretty much left. And then I was kind of just playing for a few people for the next 2 sets. And, that allows me to kind of experiment with some stuff, try some new things. And then around 10 o'clock3 a good number of people we knew come. So there was maybe 3 tables of people Lo and I know that came to see us, which was definitely cool. And ended the night out with a lot of originals, because 2 of the tables know a lot of the originals, so they were requesting specific ones, and then I threw in a couple random new ones and random old ones, and I played Completely Closed, which I haven't really done that in a while, live, and I played the new song that I wrote called Logan, which that was a lot of fun. And when you have an engaged audience, it's much more fun to play songs like that. And we got requests for Heightened Senses and the new single, The Riot Red, so I played those, of course. Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, and I don't know, I just was piling them in at the end. And we probably ended up, because everybody got there kind of late, we were on break, we didn't start till 10:15 back at it, and so we started, we probably played till 11:30, and that, that's a lot of singing for 4.5 hours. I mean, Lo was there obviously, and she helped out quite a bit, but a lot of it's me singing lead, for 4.5 hours. So it's pretty rough on the voice, but it's hard for me to quit if people are into it, engaged, watching, requesting originals, all that stuff. Just kept me on stage longer than I probably should have been. And then I actually got them to turn off the projector this time. They were, a lot of times they have big sporting events and they project it on a screen right behind us. Sometimes they've done things just weird infomercials or weird, just sitcoms. This time, Big Bang Theory was playing on the projector screen right behind us. So they had no problem turning that off for us. So that was actually kind of nice. So when people were looking at us, we actually knew that they were watching us. It wasn't, they're watching the game. And when we're done with the song, we were sometimes we'd be oh, they really like that one. But it was really just, there was a home run or a touchdown or something, or an interception, that made the crowd cheer for a second, and then so it would take us a couple seconds to be oh, they're cheering for that, not for us. Even though in my head I just kind of pretend they're always cheering for us. It's just a little easier that way. But yeah, it was a fun show by the end of the night. I didn't feel like I performed my best, but it was a marathon of a show, and Friday nights are always a little sloppier than Saturday nights in my experience. So there's just a couple weird vocal things that I just, I should have been more on top of, as far as knowing. I mean, I practice these songs so much, I'm pretty picky about them. So like when I do, like I remember I played "I'm So," which is a older song, and I did the one of the vocal runs kind of wrong, and that, like, little things like that just kind of drive me nuts when I'm playing. But I'm sure most people have never heard that song before. So I mean, if you had heard that song, you're definitely in the minority as far as overall people, because not very many people have probably heard any of our songs in relation to the amount of people that know our stuff is very, very small in comparison to the amount of people that don't know our stuff. So I mean, when I'm picky about something like that, I'm guessing even the people that know that song, they might be able to pick it out that it was a little weird, but might not know why. But after I play a song maybe 300 times, I'm a little bit picky about it. So, but it was fun, and like that last like half hour, 40 minutes really made the whole show worth it. And then, so that was Friday night. Saturday we played at what used to be called Sammers 2. The guy that booked us there passed away recently, and his name was Jay. And then the owner, his sister is, I think, co-owner of Sammers 2, opened a new bar called Jay's Place, like kind of in memory. And he was always just awesome to musicians, and just like, always had live music. So I think she's trying to keep that kind of alive, kind of in his memory. And it was definitely a nicer space than last time, a lot more room to kind of spread out. And just Lo and I this night as well. And I did bring foot drums both nights. So I mean, this one was a shorter show, 3 hours instead of 4. So kind of after doing a 4-hour show, the 3-hour show doesn't seem too bad. You get through that first hour set and you're like, oh, I only have 2 45-minute sets left. Whereas the night before it would have been 3 45-minute sets after. So, but you can play a little bit stronger set. It was like I felt like the crowd was tired. If I was getting that vibe, it was playing a lot of songs, and I could see people singing along a lot and like tapping their foot and like kind of grooving a little bit. But just after we played, complete silence. Like no applause, which is fine. I could tell that they were engaged like during the song, but after we just would lose them immediately. But by the end of the night, I think we got them up and dancing. We had like maybe 5 or 6 people up in the front dancing to a bunch of songs, I was doing covers at that point, but I got them. I think I played Misery, and that's the one, the original, that kind of got them up and moving initially. And then I played like Come Together, Shut Up and Dance, Hound Dog, bunch of songs like that, and kept them up there for the last like half hour, probably 20 minutes to a half hour. So that was fun. And then the teardown was not ideal, just a lot of stuff, and then driving those dark country roads at night, because Jay's Place is in Gibson City, so got to take Route 9, which is kind of a 2-way highway, and lots of curves, and pitch black, and worried about hitting deer, and worried about it being a little icy because it was kind of chilly. But we made it home fine, and everything was good, and it was a good show all around. So that's kind of how the weekend ended. I think it was a good one overall. Made some good amount of cash. I got a good amount kind of stashed away for recording, which is good. I'm looking forward to getting the one we were working on in the studio done, and I'm trying to work on a new one on my iPad, and the one that we were working on with Jeff in Peoria, I just need to schedule a Sunday pretty much that the Packers don't play, because he really likes the Packers. But anyway, so I'm going to schedule that, hopefully. So I'll have 3 new releases, kind of trickling in. I have a bunch of videos like done. I just need to work on them a little bit more, and, just put the final touches on them for like older stuff. So I'm hoping to get that stuff kind of squared away as well. I went through and organized a bunch of Colorado tour stuff. So I don't know. I'm hoping to get maybe that pod documentary at least more started. I got the podcast part done, and I organized all the actual videos. So now it's just a matter of editing the specific video to the kind of voiceover. And I think I'm going to probably splice in some of our music as well, just to, have some background music here and there. So I think the podcast, the pod doc, is like 40 minutes long. So, it's nothing too extreme, but a lot of cool footage, from all our shows and us talking and me talking about the whole experience. So I'm looking forward to sitting down and spending some time with that. Of course, it's been at this time months since, the actual trip, since that was in August. But, it was, going back and looking at that stuff just, reminds me of all the good times we had. And then I ended up and looked at a lot of video footage we had from New Orleans, because that was kind of on the same hard drive. And I think I'm probably going to end up and make a video with that stuff, because there's a lot of cool, we were on Bourbon Street, and it was just like classic New Orleans experience. So I want every time I make a video with like footage from a trip, every time I watch it after, it like brings me, it's like a home movie kind of, it brings me back to just remembering the trip. And so I really would like to do something with all that footage, because I was thinking we were going to use it for a video for a song that Ryan Wolf and I had written a song called New Orleans. So I was thinking we were gonna put those videos to that music, but it didn't really. I mean, we recorded it just didn't really turn out great. So I think we're gonna have to re-record it at some point. We just didn't have the gear at that point, or the know-how kind of with the iPad to make it work. So probably end up and try to do that at some point. We have like maybe 4 songs we've written together. I would like to, do an EP at some point with them, but I don't know if it'll ever come into fruition. I mean, when he's around, it's like fun to write songs and stuff, and we enjoyed doing it. But with all the stuff I got going on, all the stuff he has going on, it's just hard to make time to like sit down and lay down the tracks, and we're both trying to release our own music separately. It would be cool. I would like to get like at least a 5-track EP together with him at some point, but sometimes I'm just a little overly ambitious. I just try to do too much because, I got the full-time job. Well, 2 part-time jobs technically that kind of equal a full-time job, and then I'm trying to play and promote and book, and then trying to get recordings done, other videos done, a documentary kind of about our Colorado tour done, and then trying to write songs. That's part of it as well. And I just get, I feel bogged down, and like I can't ever get any of it done. It's nice when I do. I finally got that Riot Red done. That was in the music video. Didn't really take too long to get that, so I was happy to accomplish one thing. But that's just one thing out of a list of like 100 things I need to get done. And all I can do is really just keep trucking, keep pushing to get stuff out. And sometime maybe when I'm a little older and got all these songs that I've written, recorded, then maybe I could start working on the EP with Ryan a little bit more. I don't really know, but I hope that we get it going at some point. I have a couple ideas for like different EPs I'd like to do with him, because he's a great songwriter. So it would be cool to try some different genres, try some different concept albums. But can't do everything. You got to focus on the things that are most important to you, and kind of work out from that, I guess. So anyway, so that was this last weekend of shows, and coming up we got another Kilkenny's show. So that'll be Friday and Saturday in Davenport, Iowa. So that's what I'll be talking about next week. Hopefully I'll get something more accomplished this week, and, maybe I'll be more on the right path to get some of that stuff done. So that'll be what I'm talking about. And as always, if you took the time to listen, I appreciate you, and I will talk to you soon.